Hey, what is up everyone? Favorite Lego Studios here. Welcome back to another video. And guys, today we have episode 5 of the minifigure wall, or collecting every Lego Star Wars minifigure. Guys, if you're new to this series, basically each episode I showcase some new group of minifigures that will be added to the minifigure wall. Again, the goal of this series, or goal of the minifigure wall, is collect every Lego Star Wars minifigure. Well, other than, of course, the rarer figures like the ones made out of specific metals or earth metals. Those, of course, I'm going to pass on, but some items like the golden C-3PO or Boba Fett, basically they are going to be added to the wall eventually. So it has been a little while since the last update, and I have been a little preoccupied. I do quickly want to apologize for the past few week that I missed on actual episodes of Kashyyyk. I've been really busy on working on my truck. I finally got it all fixed, so that's something I don't have to worry about anymore, and I can focus and put all my effort and time into actually building on Kashyyyk. So I did want to quickly apologize for that, but I have an upcoming episode that's going to hopefully knock your socks off. I do have a larger update coming this week. So with that being said, let's get on to the first group of minifigures. Again, if you are still enjoying the series, definitely show some love by smashing that like button. And let's get on to the first group of minifigures. So first off, we do have some Solo figures right here. First off, we do have Han Solo from, I believe it is the most recent Cloud City set. It's pretty much just the same one that we normally get. You got the open vested shirt, dark brown pants, and then the updated hairpiece, which I'm pretty sure this came in the Cloud City set, because previous sets that he came in with this shirt, I don't think he had the hair combo with it, so I'm 95% sure that this is from the Cloud City set, and it was a pretty cheap figure. I mean, it's got all the same parts from the previous versions, just, you know, with a different hairpiece. He does have a side different, you know, face print right there. He's kind of got his carbonite face right there, and he's got his, you know, oh no, you know, what's going on, worried looking face. Next we have some figures from the Moloch Speeder, and overall these guys look pretty cool, like, I'm not gonna lie. This was one of the sets that I didn't end up picking up myself, which I actually wish I ended up doing, because I think Walmart at one point had it down for like less than $15, so I definitely should have picked up that set. But overall, you know, it's got some nice figures. You got that Carillion dust and stuff like soot and all that all over them. Overall, some pretty cool figures. I like the printing on the back, especially on the back end right there. I don't think he's got a, oh, he does. So he's got a more upset or yelling looking face for his double-sided print. And, oops, this one was on the way. And then, of course, you have Moloch, which is, you know, an interesting figure as its own. He's got a nice little head sculpt right there. Overall, some cool figures. Again, a lot of these figures are going to be kind of similar to what, you know, what's on their plate. For instance, this were like Solo figures, so I might as well put them on those plates. Next, we have some Darth Vaders over here. I didn't actually mean to buy all these Darth Vaders, but I ended up doing so. Again, it wasn't technically on purpose. It was more so on the, hey, you know, I bought one and I got one, and then I decided to buy this one. So first off, we do have the just plain classic Darth Vader. This is like the second iteration of him, or third, I believe. Honestly, I think it's the third, because it's the updated headpiece. Because if I'm correct, when they updated the torso print and stuff like that, he had the same head. But the problem is, with the third iteration, they gave him the more updated gray, you know, more realistic, or not really realistic, but, you know, detailed face scars. So overall, it's a pretty cool figure, not gonna lie. I did actually get this in a set recently. I got the 10th anniversary Darth Vader's TIE Interceptor the other day, which is a really nice set. I have it off to the side right now, and of course he came with that figure. So overall, really cool to have another Darth Vader in the collection. Next, we have the last on my list for the burnt up Anakins, or / Darth Vaders. I finally have them all now. I have the original, I have the most recent, and of course there's this iteration right here, which came in Palpatine Shuttle. Overall, a really cool figure. Now this figure definitely, if I'm correct, had some backlash with it when it came out, because of course it had you know, these scars on him. He's got a messed up looking face. Overall, like, it's not a good looking figure in the least, especially when it comes to, like, you know, putting in a Lego set. So overall, it's kind of a more scary looking Anakin Skywalker burnt up. than the most recent one. Honestly, it is a cool looking figure. Again, it's awesome to have this guy in my collection, as well as ending off my burnt up Anakin collection, because there's only 3 made, not counting this one of course. So it's really cool having all 3 now. Last but not least, we have the Darth Vader in the Bank-to-Tank or Bank-to-Tank soup, because this came in the Vader's Castle, and overall this was a cool figure. I was buying parts from a seller on Bricklink, and he had it for a good price. I was like, you know what, I've been wanting to get this figure for some time, so I ended up picking him up. Again, it was a pretty good price, and overall it's really cool to have you know, the Darth Vader in the Bank-to-Tank. I don't know, it's just overall it's just a really cool figure. I think he's awesome, and I'm glad to have him in my collection. So 3 more Darth Vaders to add to the collection. Moving on, we of course have some older style figures. By older I mean like you know, some classic minifigures that came out quite a few years ago. We do have Episode 2 Obi-Wan Kenobi. Now if you're curious, I already do have an Obi-Wan Kenobi from Episode 2 with the yellow face already on the wall. But the difference between this one and the one that's already on the wall is that the one on the wall already has a headset. Basically, that came in the Jedi Starfighter, and he had a headset print on the side of his face. And this is just the classic Obi-Wan Kenobi with no headset. And overall, it's a pretty cool figure. Like, again, it's really cool to get some of the older Jedi, because there's so many. And it's just another cool figure to add to the wall, and this guy will go right next to his other iteration. Next we have Tennum, I think is his name. I think he came in the B-Wing set, and honestly he's a pretty cool figure. Like, he's got a nice print on his chest, and he's got a nice head print, especially for the time being. And overall, you know, it's a really cool figure, and you can kind of, if I ever want to do some kind of rebel base or something along those lines, I can kind of have him just kind of walking around. It's a kind of a nice little figure for what it is. Next we have I think this is Jabba's droid, or no, this came in the Sandcrawler, that's correct. This was one of the original Sandcrawler droids. Pretty cool. It's just a classic plain droid, you know, standard droid parts, except it's got a clip piece right there with a transclear stud on top of it. I can't remember the droid's name, but you know, it was a classic one. Again, I think it was only a couple bucks, and I was like, you know what, it's on the in the wall collection. So what I recently did was basically went through on Bricklink to basically calculate and basically add all the minifigures I did not have, and I basically added them all into wanted list, and this was one of the figures in the wanted list. So another fine addition to the collection of battle droids, or just droids in general. Moving on to the second to last thing, we do have a couple of clone troopers right here. As you guys can tell, it is literally just 2 pilots, and the only difference here is that this one doesn't have leg printing and this one does. That's literally the only difference. One of these came in the Republic gunship set in 2013, and one came in the Microfighter gunship, I think from the year before. But they're literally the same face printing, same body, torso print, same helmet print, nothing different, literally the same figure, just different leg printing. So overall, some pretty cool figures. I use these guys in Camino, and you know, they're gonna look nice on the minifigure wall. So the last set of figures that I'll be showing you all today is some really cool figures right here, including one of my favorite figures that I don't think people give enough credit to, and that, first off, of course, is the C-3PO with the red arm from Force Awakens. This figure was a polybag back when Force Awakens came out, and honestly, this was such a really detailed figure, and I don't think it gets enough credit than what it deserves. It's got, for one, it's got arm printing, which just looks fantastic, but not just that, it has side leg printing. That's not something you see on a normal Lego minifigure. If it's custom, then that's understandable, but on a standard minifigure, that's not something normally that happens. But overall, like, the detail on this minifigure is pretty great in my opinion. All the sidearm printing, all the detail on this. Again, I just feel like this figure gets overlooked, especially when it comes to detailed standard minifigures. And overall, it just probably my favorite C-3PO minifigure that I own, just because, like, it's just such a nicely detailed minifigure. Next we have, of course, I think it's a Sergeant Stormtrooper or Heavy Sergeant Stormtrooper. This figure came in the Quad Jumper set. Basically, The only difference from him and the heavy is, or the standard heavy troopers, I think he's got a little bit extra pouches right there, as well as he's got a backpack. That's literally the only difference. He's still got the standard clone trooper, angry clone trooper face. But overall, it is a cool looking figure. You know, another addition to my First Order collection. And last but not least, we have one of Unkar Plutt's thugs. Again, this guy came in the, I just said it, the quad jumper set, and just standard, you know, thug right here. Again, just one of Unkar Plutt's thugs. And overall, you know, he looks cool. He's got a nice little mask for his face. But other than that, that is going to be it for all the minifigures. I'm going to set up the camera and basically go over and showcase putting these guys on the minifigure wall. And that's going to be it. So let's get right onto that now. Okay guys, so ending off the video, of course, I'm going to show you all what the minifigure wall is looking like now. And honestly, this thing is looking pretty great. This thing just keeps filling out with more and more minifigures. I, of course, did add all the new additions to the wall. And again, this thing just looks so cool because it just keeps filling out with more and more minifigures. Of course, we did put the Darth Vader with the last burnt up Anakin right there next to the other two. And again, that just looks really cool, seeing all the different iterations. What I'll do is I'll probably move that one where the newer version is, so it kind of has the old to new style. Moving down, we do have the new Darth Vader right there. That's probably not going to be the final place because I'm kind of, you know, going through some of these areas and rearranging to kind of give it a better feel. That way, you know, all this isn't, you know, mixed together, I guess you could say. Continuing moving down, we of course did add the new Force Awakens. This kind of area just like filled up all of a sudden. We have the new C-3PO. Again, I don't know if I really like him being at the end. Kind of think I want to put him over by BB-8, but I'll figure out that in a little bit. But I do have C-3PO right there. I do have Unkar's Thut and the Thug, and of course the Stormtrooper Sergeant. Again, I'm going to be rearranging this so it fits more, so I can have like all the First Order crew kind of on the bottom shelf with the Rebellion, or Resistance, my bad. Moving up, we did have the Han Solo moved right there. We do have the Moloch and Moloch's crew member kind of just in the solo Star Wars story little square right here. And again, this was kind of the situation where I haven't decided to put them yet. Since it is technically expanded universe, not Rogue One, nor is it A New Hope or anything like that, I kind of put them in the expanded minifigures, so that's where they go. I did add the two pilots in their little spot right there, as well as the Obi-Wan Kenobi right next to the other one. What I did realize is the one with the headset has a little bit lighter color to the hairpiece, which is, you know, pretty funny to think about. So with that being said, that is of course going to be it for this week's episode of the minifigure wall. I do have more minifigures coming in the mail now, and hopefully I won't take too much of a hiatus on posting the next video. So with that being said, I will see you guys. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, definitely show some love by smashing that like button. If you're new to this channel, definitely subscribe, and I'll see you stud stackers in the next video. Bye bye.